Welcome. Find a comfortable position and allow the day to soften around you. This is a gentle story from the Greenwood Basin, a quiet corner of a renewed world where people live in rhythm with the land and move through their days with care. As you listen, you'll hear the hush of beech leaves, the warmth of a small lantern flame, and the soft shaping of a wooden bowl beneath careful hands. If you enjoy peaceful stories like this, you're warmly invited to subscribe and stay close to the channel, so these moments of calm can find you whenever you need them. For now, there is nothing you need to do, nothing to hold, nothing to change. Just let your breath settle, let your shoulders ease, and allow the calm of the forest to gather around you. When you're ready, we'll step softly into the story. Night comes gently to the Greenwood Basin, not suddenly as it does at the sea edge or in deep mountain passes, but slowly, with a kind of thoughtful pause between each shift of colour and sound. It begins with the soft dimming of the high canopy, where the last of the gold slips away from the upper oak leaves. Then the light pulls between the trunks, warm and low, as if the day is gathering its belongings before heading home. And in this quiet hour, on the edge of a small woodland hollow, the woodcarer named Elya sits outside her roundwood hut, preparing for an evening of peaceful work. Her hut is nestled into the slope of an old beech rise, one of those soft, swelling hills formed by centuries of leaf fall and root work. The beech trees here are tall and silver-barked, their limbs flowing skyward like slow fountains of pale wood. Many hold on to their dry leaves through winter, a habit known as marcescence, so even now, in this late spring dusk, some branches still hold pale coppery leaves that twist and whisper with the slightest breeze. A wren darts low across the moss, skimming just above the ground. Elya watches it with calm attention. Wrens tend to stay low before settled weather, she remembers. A small sign, but a reassuring one. Tomorrow will likely be gentle too. She takes a slow breath, letting the damp, earthy scent of the woodland settle around her. Moss, leaf mould, cool soil, and the faint resin sweetness of split beechwood from her work pouch. Tonight she has taken out a piece of beech burl, a sphere-like swelling from a fallen limb, rich with twisting grains and old stories. It is smooth on one side, rough on the other, and mottled with the pale silver and rose patterns that beechwood sometimes carries. The people of the Greenwood Basin have a quiet lore about burls. They say a burl forms when a tree survives something difficult, a storm wound, a long winter, or some hidden strain beneath the bark. Rather than breaking, the tree gathers its strength around the wound and grows something new from it. Dense, swirling, beautiful wood shaped by time and resilience. These burls are called quiet years by some of the elders. A reminder that hardship often becomes the most beautiful part of one's story. Elya runs her thumb over the surface with a tenderness that comes from many years of craft. Woodcarers in the basin do not force their work, they follow it. A bowl becomes what the wood wishes it to be. A tool handle is shaped by the grain, not by stubborn hands. She lifts the burl closer, letting the last of the evening light fall upon its surface. Even in the dim, she can see hints of the patterns within it. Curls of tight grain, miniature walls, like river eddies around a stone, faint swells that catch the eye and pull it inward. It is as if the tree pressed all its memories of weather and time into one place, giving them form. She places the burl gently in her lap and reaches for her small carving blade. Not a knife from the old world, but a new one, made within the basin. The handle is ash wood, smooth and warm, shaped to her own grip. The blade is honed with river stone, just as the Red Watch Rangers taught. Before she begins, she settles herself with a slow, simple movement. One foot draws back behind her, knee resting on the soft moss. Her spine rises naturally. Her breath softens. Her movements are not formal or choreographed, just instinctive, the kind that come from living a life carried by footpaths and woodland tasks. Many in her region practice gentle, natural movement every day, stretching, leaning, balancing, letting the body flow in its own quiet rhythm. It began long ago as a survival practice, but now it is simply part of life, a way to keep the body soft and clear, to tend the inside so the outside may follow. Elya takes another breath, feeling the moss under her ankles and the steady grounding of the soil beneath. Then she begins her work. Her first cuts are tiny, barely shavings, just enough to find the burl's natural hollow. Burls often hide their intentions until you begin. Some become bowls, others become ladles, others still are meant for nothing more than simple holding, talismans of texture and memory. Tonight, she has chosen to carve a memory bowl, small, palm-sized, a vessel for seeds, intentions, or prayer stones. Many families in the basin keep such bowls on their window ledges, filled with seeds wrapped in lyrics, feathers from a long walk, or little slivers of bark from beloved trees. They are reminders of the quiet things one tends inside. As she carves, the forest around her settles into evening. The robin sings its slow descending goodnight song somewhere near the edge of the clearing. A pair of wood pigeons call softly from higher branches. Farther away, the stream hums its constant murmur, catching hints of starlight as the sky deepens overhead. The sound of beech leaves becomes the evening's anchor, a dry, papery rustle that carries through the hollow. Elya listens to it as she works, letting it guide the pace of her breath. Many basin woodcarers say that the sound of old beech leaves helps them slip into a state of clarity. The leaves hold a memory of winter, a quiet patience from seasons past. Elya makes another small cut, then another. Each motion is slow and deliberate, shaped by care. As the first small curls of wood fall onto her lap, she notices something about the grain, a soft spiral that widens at one edge. It reminds her of a creek eddying around a fallen branch, circling and circling before drifting on. And with that image comes a gentle feeling rising in her chest. Not a thought exactly, just a recognition. A sense that she, too, has circled around certain seasons of her life, times that felt difficult or uncertain, where she leaned inwards instead of forward. Times where she grew not outward, but quietly inside. She pauses and strokes the curl of grain with her thumb. It is an ordinary thought, but it brings ease. Even the slow, uncertain years have shaped her. Even they have a place. She continues carving. The lantern she lit earlier, a small clay vessel with beeswax and a wick of twisted flax, casts a soft, honeyed glow over her hands. The shadows of the forest deepen but never press close. Everything feels open and safe, as if the trees themselves are standing guard. From time to time, Elya flexes her fingers, rolling her wrists slowly to keep them loose. She shifts her posture again, a soft squat, a careful lean, a rise up to kneeling. These movements keep her warm as the night air cools. The forest holds its steady breath. A tawny owl glides overhead, silent as a moon shadow. Its wings barely disturb the air. Elya smiles without looking up. She knows the owl's path by the way the leaves momentarily still, as if listening. After a while, the shape of the bowl begins to emerge. The bowl reveals a natural dip that makes a perfect center. Elya deepens it with gentle strokes. The rim forms itself, uneven but pleasing, shaped by the burl's own will. She whispers a quiet thanks to the beech tree it came from. In the basin, it is believed that gratitude keeps the spirit of the wood at peace, not because the tree demands it, but because gratitude keeps us in good relation with the living world. The sky above her is now indigo, scattered with early stars. The evening star gleams over the treetops, framed between the reaching branches of two old oaks that guard the hollow. Elya sets down her blade and brushes shavings from her lap. The half-finished bowl sits warm in her hands. She turns it slowly, feeling its balance, the promise it holds. She can feel the quiet message of the burl even now, that softness and strength can live together, that even burdened years can form something beautiful. A feeling settles in her chest, something small and calm and steady, a gentle belonging. The night deepens. The breeze barely moves, and the beech leaves hush themselves to a low whisper. Even their rustle is soft now, like a lullaby made of dry paper and memory. Elya rises smoothly, unfolding her legs with a natural flow. She steps barefoot onto the cool soil, letting the earth drink the warmth from her feet. This night grounding is her favorite ritual, a way to return herself to the rhythm of things, to settle her inner world so the outer world may follow. She looks around her hollow, the moss, the trees, the dim lantern light, and feels the clarity that comes with stillness. She carries the half-carved bowl inside her hut. The interior is warm, with the scent of dried herbs hanging from the rafters. A few carved bowls rest on shelves, each with its own quiet memory. A simple bed of woven reeds and wool waits at the corner. Elya places the burl bowl beside the lantern and covers it with a soft cloth so the wood may rest. Then she sits on the edge of her bed and untwists her hair, running her fingers through it in slow, mindful strokes. She stretches her neck, then her arms, then her spine. Tiny movements, gentle and easy, like the last notes of a song. Outside, the forest holds her in silence. She lies down, pulling a woven shawl over her. The fabric smells faintly of chamomile and open air. The beeswax lantern flickers once, twice, and then she snuffs it out with a small clay cap. Darkness fills the hut, soft, velvety, embracing. The last sound she hears, the stream murmuring to itself, the distant owl settling into a higher branch, and above it all, the soft, soothing rustle of beech leaves. the memory of the tree carried on the wind, a whisper from the quiet years, a reminder that even the most twisted grains can bloom into something gentle. Elya breathes out slowly, her eyes soften. Sleep gathers round her like warm moss, and the night in the Greenwood Basin deepens into peaceful stillness.